is a film about Amsterdam Valen, who is seeking revenge against the man who killed his father, Priest Valen. His father's murderer was Bill the Butcher, and Bill the Butcher had led the Protestant Natives gang, and then Priest Valen had led the Dead Rabbits gang. So 16 years later, unaware of Amsterdam's true identity, Bill the Butcher took Amsterdam under his wing, and this is whenever Amsterdam plotted to publicly murder him and failed. So recovering from his defeat, he revived the Dead Rabbits gang, and around this time is whenever Boss Tweed collaborated with Amsterdam to secure the Irish vote for Tammany Hall, and they won. And then Bill the Butcher went and murdered Boss Tweed. So this angered Amsterdam, and he led the Dead Rabbits to go against the Protestant Natives, and they had a victory. And then finally, Bill was murdered by Amsterdam. And then Amsterdam moved to San Francisco with his girlfriend for new gold opportunities. This film takes place in the Five Points slum of New York City, and the film is set from 1862 to 1863.
$300 to avoid military draft.
The original gangs of New York were included in the film, which were the Bowery Boys, the Dead Rabbits, Plug Uglies, Short Tails, Slaughterhouses, and Swamp Angels. The key people in this film were Walter Monk McGinn, Priest Valen, Amsterdam Valen, William Boss Tweed, and Bill the Butcher. Socially, New York City had had a lot of Irish immigrants coming because of the Irish potato famine that was happening. Economically, nativists believed that immigrants were stealing jobs, and then economic inequality helped political machines like Tammany Hall, and then wealthy men could pay $300 to avoid the draft, which made the poor really angry. Politically, Tammany Hall was dominating New York City politics, and they heavily relied on immigrant votes, and then the conscription law was angering immigrants because they saw it as unfair. Historical accuracy of Gangs of New York. In Gangs of New York, the timing was not accurate as it squeezed decades of gang conflict into a single story. And then Bill Poole had actually died in 1855, which was before the draft riots had ever occurred. And then in the film, the Irish gained political power way faster than they did in real life. The film also has a subplot on the love story of Jenny and Amsterdam, which are both fictional characters. The film has many characters who didn't actually exist, like Amsterdam Valen, Priest Valen, all of the gang members. Those characters didn't actually exist. They were based loosely on the ideas of genres of people, but Bill the Butcher was based on William Poole. But in the movie, he's way more exaggerated than he was in real life. I think in the movie, he's more so meant to represent xenophobia, and that's why he's so theatrical and extreme. In the film, Black people don't really get seen much, even though they had made up a large population of the 5 Points in real life.
Gold opportunities in San Francisco. Come to California.
The movie is in favor of the Irish because, one, it makes the nativists the antagonist and Bill the Butcher the antagonist. And then Bill the Butcher is clearly like the big bad villain that they're trying to take down. And then it makes Tammany Hall being corrupt like a helpful thing that we're trying to root for. And then finally, the happy ending of the story is whenever Amsterdam, the Irish boy, gets to go live happily ever after in San Francisco. The standout scene to me was definitely whenever Amsterdam tried to kill Bill the Butcher, and Bill the Butcher caught him, and then he went crazy on him and burned him, cut him up, everything in front of everybody, because I thought for sure he was gonna die, and I was thinking like the main character's gonna die and like he's not gonna get his happy ending, and I just watched the whole movie, and then all of a sudden Bill the Butcher was like, he doesn't deserve death, and he just burned him, and I was so confused. And honestly, I'm still kind of confused as to why he chose not to kill him, because clearly Amsterdam was going to try again, but that's why that scene stood out to me, because it was very gory and surprising. Overall, I would say that the film is pretty historically accurate. It's just that the specific details of the film aren't really correct, and it's more of the concepts and ideas that are true. And then the film itself was a very good movie, and it was very entertaining.